In this video I'd like to tell you more about the fighting in Gothic 3. Gothic 3 features 6 distinct fighting styles. First, we've got fist fighting. Not really effective, but always good as a fallback. Then we've got fighting with a sword. The sword is a really effective weapon, but if you're carrying only one sword, you're very slow to parry counterattacks after a strike. That's much better with two swords. You can quickly attack and parry counterattacks. But this skill is only taught in Varant, the southern desert. Of course, also a shield can be used to parry counterattacks and also enemy arrows. The next fighting style is staff fighting. Staffs and halberds have got a very high range and ideal to keep enemies at a distance. And last but not least, we've got two-handed weapons. They do the most damage, but attacks are very slow. These fighting styles not only have their own distinct look and animation set, but they also play differently, with different weapon ranges and a specific timing needed for each type of attack. Fighting in Gothic 3 is not just dumb mouse button bashing. You've got several attacks for each fighting style available, each with advantages and disadvantages, depending on the situation and of course your enemy. Besides a quick and a normal attack, we have heavy attacks and also stab attacks in the game. A heavy attack takes longer to prepare than a quick attack, so while you're winding up for a heavy whirlwind attack, for example with two swords, you're vulnerable for quick attacks from your enemy. Fighting in Gothic 3 requires more tactical thought and is more action-oriented. You have to read the body of your opponent to pick the right attack or to parry at the right time. For Gothic 3 we have completely reworked the combat controls. In Gothic 1 and 2 we had only keyboard controls. Most of the experienced RPG players liked the interface, but those who were expecting first-person-like controls weren't exactly pleased. We've taken all this into account and eliminated most of the flaws the players have pointed out. And so in Gothic 3 combat is now controlled completely with the mouse, using combinations of left and right mouse buttons to attack and to parry, and there is an intuitive softlock system for targeting enemies. Depending on which button you press and how long you're holding it down, the hero will perform different actions. Equipping and changing weapons in Gothic 3 is now really easy and intuitive. You just drag and drop weapons from your inventory into the quick slot bar on the lower bottom of the screen, and then you can choose your weapon just by pressing the number of the according slot on the keyboard. Very much like in a first-person shooter. That makes the interface not only very easy to use, but also players that are new to Gothic will immediately know how to control the game. Although Gothic 3 can be played in both the third and the first-person perspective, the third-person perspective is the preferred method. This view gives the player many advantages, especially when fighting against multiple enemies, which will happen quite often in the game. The collision system, when a weapon hits an enemy, is modeled realistically, so that when a weapon is swung, you'll hit all enemies standing in range of the weapon with one blow. Another special thing about Gothic 3 is that after knocking a human or an orc down during combat, it's up to you whether you finish him or you just leave him lying there unconscious. If you decide to kill him and somebody's watching you, you're known as a murderer afterwards, and the people in that town will attack you. So think before you act, because in Gothic 3 every action has a consequence.